Hey, what's going on, Toy Fan? Project Piper Customs here, and welcome back to a brand new 2021 edition of the Custom Cave. How we all doing? I hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. It's been a while, and I hope I've been keeping in touch with you during the live streams. We've had a couple of those out recently, but yeah, I just wanted to get back into the cave and get stuck into the different projects I've got going on. And this was kind of just one that came out of nowhere. I hadn't really intended on, I hadn't even given this one a thought. That as soon as sort of figure and the pre-order came in, I thought, you know what, this just screams for a coat of paint on it. So yes, as you can see in front of you, we are looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Deathstroke figure from the Arkham Origins video game, and this figure has been through the ringer with reviews. Some people hate it, some people find it okay, but you know what they don't really dive right into is just how much potential that the sculpt work offers. The sculpt work on this thing, personally for me, is unbelievable. You know, there's so much detail in there, and the only thing that really lets the sculpt work down is the paint job. You know, in terms of being an action figure, it's not the best. You know, there are some points of articulation it really should have had and could have benefited from, and the hands are on the opposite ends. You know, you've got the gripping hand on the right and the trigger hand on the left, and yet his gun is on the left and his sword is on, you know, on the right, or other way around. You know what I mean? I'm even confused, but yeah, but in terms of aesthetics, this thing is just incredible, and it's a perfect blank canvas if you wanted to start off somewhere in customizing. If you wanted to give this a try yourself, you couldn't ask for a better figure, so I highly recommend you picking up this figure if you want to practice on your different painting techniques in terms of washing and dry brushing. Okay, and that's exactly what I did here. So let me bring it forward close up and show you what I did. Now, if you joined me a couple of weeks ago, I think it was last week, I did a live stream, Custom Cave Live, where I started prepping this guy. Okay, so yeah, I had him in the cave, and I began with giving the whole figure all the blue armored areas, and I'll pop a visual reference. So right next to here is how the figure looked. Okay, so you had the oranges were all metallic, but you had this like really sort of murky greeny blue colour and it was really flat for all the other, what would be here, the blue armour pieces. And you know, all these awesome detailed areas just had nothing on them, they were just flat. Okay, so they just screamed to me, just give me a repaint. So what I did is I painted all the blue armoured areas in a metallic blue, which I have with me here. Okay, so this is the metallic blue I use. It's Artiste metallic sapphire, and it's really nice. I love these this brand of metallics. They do great different colours, especially like what was it, the emerald green. If you ever need that, amazing. But yeah, really love this paint, and it really worked well here. Okay, so I gave the figure all the armored areas, you know, that were in blue, including the head, and you would have seen me do that on a live stream. Just a base coat in this blue. Okay, just applied it, you know, liberally all the way around, got in all the areas. Okay, and then we hit it with a black wash. All right, so taking some, and you know what a black wash is by now, but if you don't, you basically take some matte black paint, which is what I have here, just generic craft paint. You mix it in with some water, a lot of water, and it creates a wash, just a watered down black paint. Okay, and you apply that all over the figure, and it gets into all those nooks and crannies and crevices and anywhere you want it to be, just, you know, like mucky and grimed up and looking really dull. Okay, and there are ways, you know, it does go everywhere, and the puddles will form where you don't want them to form, so you just get just dry off a paintbrush and just soak up all those puddles that you don't want. You can build up puddles in certain areas that you do want, and to get like a, you know, to dull down and a flat surface, you know, just keep applying washes, wait for it to dry, apply another one, you know. And if it gets too dark, then what I like to do is I like to get a cotton bud, dip it into like a Q-tip, dip it in some water, and then you can sort of start washing, you know, wiping away any of the staining, and you know, create some clean areas, or just take it all off and start all over again, you know. So yeah, I applied black wash to the whole figure. Okay, really got in there, and then I moved on to the next phase, which is dry brushing in all the battle damage. Okay, so now I always use this, a titanium silver. You've seen it on the channel plenty of times. I love them Tamiya silvers and golds. They're just really great. So yeah, just went in all the different cracks, all the different scratches. They're all over the body, just littered everywhere. You know, really brought out someone's head, as you can see. Okay, dry brushed in all the edging as well, as you can see on this collar piece, just going over all the edging, getting in all the cracks, dry brushing all the edges here, all around the edges of the armour, especially here, along these seams, along the back, along this panelling, all on the back as well. Okay, and there is no set format with the battle damage. You can have it as heavy or as light as you feel. You get to decide how you want him to look and what colour scheme you want to go for. That's the beauty of this fig. And with Deathstroke, you know, you could either go with the black and yellow, or you know, you could just have the flat blue or the metallic orange, or you can have the metallic blue and the flat orange. You decide however it is you want him. I just feel this is an awesome base figure to practice. So yeah, after I did all the battle damaged armor parts, okay, I then went in with some more black wash, but just ever so gently, just poured it into the inserts of the cracks and the scratches. So as you can see, the edges are worn, you know, but inside, you know, it's you know, got some black wash in there, and it gives the illusion that it's a really deep, you know, deep chink in the armor. Okay. Yeah, and especially one on his midsection just there. Get some better light. Okay, and just gives the illusion also that, you know, these battle damage areas, they've been battle damaged for a while, and the armor's been worn quite a lot since, you know, these times, and you know, it's just got dirtied up, and he hasn't really gone back and repainted the armor or tried to fix it. Okay. And my visual reference for this, as I love the colour scheme of metallic blue and metallic orange, is I used quite a few reference pictures of the Hot Toys version, which I'll show you right here, just to get, you know, a good basis for all those other little intricate details that are on the figure. Let's get this out of his hand. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay. So now I want to go into all the other little detailed areas, okay, such as this here. Now in the original, you know, the strap was blue and all the cartridges were orange, you know, same metallic orange here. And yeah, I wanted to go for something a bit more realistic, so I painted some more of the Tamiya, you know, across the top. And I used a metallic red. Metallic reds aren't easy to find, but I managed to find one in these Lumiere paints. Okay, and I used a metallic red across here for the shells. I also used it in these little inserts here, and again with some Tamiya. And for this little area, I used pewter, same as the red, but a pewter silver version. Okay, pop those there on just these little details, and it's these little details that are the most fun to do. You know, you could really just take your time and pick them out. As you see, we've got some silver on the buckles here. I went in with a burnt umber brown for some of the straps, as part of the visual reference was showing me. So just here on the tops here, and across some of the belt straps here, and again on the back. Okay, other little details is obviously this canister in the center here. Okay, let's get a better light on there. Just filled that in. Okay, additional paint areas on the belt. Okay, that buckle there, painted in the grenade too. Gave the gun a bit of a dry brush. Another annoyance of the figure is that the gun is molded to his leg, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And of course these areas here, right there, and on his collar, that was all the same blue. I went in and painted those black, so it really separates those armoured pieces. Alright, and yeah, you could have so much fun and just take your time just filling in all these nice little details, and it's something I wanted to do. You know, as this was just a simple repaint, it wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't trying any new techniques on this one. I thought, well, if it is just a simple repaint, go all in on the repaint. You know, that's the way I look at it. You know, I'm not going to slouch on just skipping over any details. I'm just going to make this thing the best repainted figure you can get, and make it as close to the Hot Toys as possible. Okay, so that's what we did there, and I'll show you the back, and we'll get into some of the other things I added. So again, weathered details. All right, and another little additional add-on I did, and it's a bit hard to tell, but I also, sort of focus, I did add some the powdered pigment weathering kit from Tamiya, and I used some of the mud colour, and I just gave his boots a little bit of a scuffing if it would stop auto-focusing. Okay, the only problem is the moment you handle it, it does obviously wear off, as it's kind of a dusty powder, but I need to seal it. You know, I want to get this video done, and I hadn't sealed it yet. So that's but as it's a powder, you can go in and reapply them anytime. And these are the powders right here. Okay, so you've got an applicator, and that's the mud colour. Let me just quickly show you what I mean. What I mean. Let's get this open. Oh, there you go. That's by Tamiya. Let's pop it open. Okay, it's a bit like a makeup kit you see ladies have. You've got your brush, and you've got this pad here. And you just go in with the pad. Get some on there, both sides. Alright, and as you can see, if it'll focus, just go in. Yeah, just give some weathering to the boots, as if he's been traipsing around in all the Gotham's mud. It's a bit too heavy, then you can brush some off. You know, there you go. So I picked up one of these Tamiya kits online, but you don't actually need one of these Tamiya kits, you know, from what Tom suggested, and it's a bloody good idea. All you need to do is get yourself some chalk pastels, just craft chalk pastels, the ones that, you know, teachers get for school supplies, and just, you know, shave some off until it's a powder. You know, you can obviously get yourself one of rare colours and just shave some off with a blade until you get, you know, it's a fine powder, and you can use that, and it just saves you the money, because this thing is quite expensive because you're paying for the name. Alright, it's a really good kit, but you know, you can save yourself some money on that. Okay, and for the painting and detailing, that's all it was. Okay, and here are some of the other great artists within the community who have done their own repaints for this figure. And links to their Instagrams will all be in the description, so please head on over there and give them a follow and appreciate their work, because they're really awesome. Okay, in terms of added accessories, as we know from this figure, it came with this horrible sword and sheath. This thing was atrocious. I can't believe they actually left out the back of it, so the whole sword was exposed, and obviously it fitted onto his back. And the sword itself, well, even though it looks cool, it is flimsy as crap. Okay, remember that snaky sword from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, that thing. Okay, I'm expecting this thing to come alive and start singing to me. So yeah, this had to go. There's no way I was keeping this whatsoever. And yeah, so I thought, well, what can I replace it with? And then I remembered, get rid of that. I had this guy, which is the DC Collectibles version. Okay, and he had a pretty solid sheath. Couldn't find where the sword went, good chance it's broken, but he did have a damn good sheath, which is right there. Okay, now, get you out of the way. Let's bring it close. Now, the original sheath slipped through here, and there's a peg at the back, so I had to take a blade and just widen this hole slightly more, and then really jimmy this thing in. Obviously, I pinged this off from the back of him. Alright, but it's a pretty solid piece. And it fitted in quite nicely, covered the hole at the back. Okay, and yeah, if we can see here, sword ain't exposed now. Alright, but obviously, you know, sheath can't be useful unless you've got a sword in it. So I had to think of where can I find a decent sword. I didn't want to plonk in a regular Marvel Legends katana, so I think, okay, what figure do I own that has a cool sword? And of course I picked, yeah, the Mezcal blade sword. Okay, this is the comic book version. I am in no longer need of this because my current Mezcal blade is fitted out to be the Wesley Snipes blade, and I already have a Sword of the Daywalker for him, which left this one free to use. Okay, and that just slips in quite lovely. Let's do that. Just in the back there. Okay, a little bit exposed, but you know, it works, and it's a cool looking sword. You know, it's something Deathstroke would kind of use. So yeah, there you go, problem solved. And now I have a decent sword for him. And whilst we're on the you know, the topic of pinching accessories, what did come with this guy also was his, and you saw it earlier in the video, his bow staff, one of the staple weapons of Deathstroke. Okay, along with his machine gun and regular guns that, of course, that's fixed in. I can fix that in probably. I was tempted to remove this holster because it is just, you know, as you can see, it's just glued there. Remove that and give him a working gun. I may do that at some point. I just didn't get a chance to do it this time around. But yeah, as I mentioned before, the problem is his his gun is on this side, trigger finger's on this side, sword is on this side, sword holding hand is on this side. So it's a bit of a cluster F, and really bad decision on the part of McFarlane to do that. It's a bit of an oversight, something they shouldn't have missed. Sorry, but you know, at least we got a decent looking bow staff for him, and he can hold it. Okay, a little bit of a loose fit because obviously it's a bigger figure, but you know, get it into a certain point, and he can hold it there quite nicely. And same goes with the sword. So let's plonk this out and get the sword. Okay, and these are quite malleable, so if you wanted to, you could just heat it up and close the fist a little bit more to give him a better grip. Okay, but he does hold the sword like so. You know, and it's a decent length. You know, it'll work for your display and for some shots if you wish it to. Okay, so there we are. I was okay with that. I was happy enough. So there we are. Added accessories to beef him out a bit for your display. So overall, I am really happy with how this one turned out. And, you know, it was extremely fun to do. It was therapeutic. Just sit back, take your time, and just have fun with it. And the end result is exactly what I was after. You know, I went a bit heavier with the battle damage as compared to the Hot Toys one, but you know, that's my flavour. You know, I did want him to give him that really beat down armour, just tattered. You know, just like he's been through the wars and he still has no S to give. He's coming for you. So that's the kind of vibe I wanted to go for, and you know, it turned out really well, and this will look great on the shelf next to some of the other Batmans that I have. Always wanted a decent Deathstroke figure. I love the Arkham Origins armor. That design is really awesome. And yeah, and this is, even though the figure itself isn't great in terms of, you know, posability and, you know, obviously the problems with the hands and the weapons, you know, for what it is, sculpt wise, you know, it was just great fun to work on, and couldn't be happier with the end result. And yeah, so that'll be it for this one, guys. Thank you very much. If you want to check out the live stream where I started this one off, you can do. I'll link that in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm on the way to 2,000. That's really awesome. Thank you so much for all those new that have subscribed. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for the support. And if you want to see more of my work, please be sure to hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at Project Piper Customs, and I'll link all those in the description. And also for Toys-R-Us UK, use our promo code Total Talk for up to 10% off selected lines, and they ship worldwide, so I'll link that in the description as well. We've got Turtle Talk will be the TMNT Volume 3 watch along. That should be happening on Saturday. If not, we'll see what happens. May even do another custom live stream. They seem to be enjoying them, and I appreciate all those who stop by when I do them, and I'll let you know in advance when the next one will be. So yeah, that'll be it for now. Hope you guys are alright. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, and until next time.